Manchester City take on Liverpool at Anfield, but inconsistent form and costly goals conceded have seen City fall behind Arsenal in the title race. Huge clash at Anfield. Let's hear from both managers. First up is Arne Slot.
Yeah, what I mainly remember is the game we played over there. In the first half, we were completely outplayed for large parts, not for the complete 45 minutes, but for large parts. So it's another moment for us to see where we are in the development of this team. So that of course being said, we also know the importance of a result on Sunday.
We have moments, real moments, but not enough consistency to be there. But still, we are there. So 14 games in the Premier League is an eternity, from my experience. It's a lot, and everything can happen. You know, in the other position, we are better than last season. Last season, we finished 23 in the Champions League. We are 8. Last season, first round Carabao Cup, we were in the final. The FA Cup was still there. And last season in the Premier League, we are miles away from Liverpool. So we'll see what happens until the end.
Well, this has always been a big game, certainly of late. What do you make of what's coming up at Anfield? Do you agree with Tim, who before the break said this is where the league is decided?
Well, I think obviously it's very important that City try and keep pace with Arsenal by getting this. They haven't travelled well to Anfield over recent years. And when you get it, obviously the big news is City trying to keep up with Arsenal. But if you look at Liverpool, if Liverpool can get a win, they sneak into the top 5 results, go their way on Saturday. So this is a huge game for both clubs. It's going to be it's the game of the weekend, I think, first and foremost. But Pep Guardiola said there, 14 games left. They're in touch and distance. Their improvement has been vast on last season. Yeah. It's just that consistency that's missing. And when I get a look at his squad, I really like the profile of the players he's brought in. I like his January transfer business. I think for the value for money, I think for those two players is absolutely superb. It's just developing those relationships quick enough to amount a charge on the Premier League.
Yeah, and defensively, you know, that's been a big worry for them, but that looks to be on the up. I think Ruben Diaz is potentially back. John Stones back in training as well.
Yeah, Guy was obviously a fantastic signing. They could just go out and get him. You know, when Guardiola was struggling with injury, and Diaz, it just automatically put a player in there who hadn't got to settle. You know, he knows the Premier League inside out. He's an England international and probably first name on the team sheet for England, well, behind Harry Kane second.
That's when they can be a little bit vulnerable at back, and there's definitely fragility to them. They did have a cloak of kind of invincibility at one stage about them, and they would control games, wouldn't they? They would pass teams to death. And also, when I played against City, whenever we transitioned, they had those dark arts down to a T. They would foul us at the halfway line and stop that counter-attack at source. Now, they let teams go, and on that transition and running at their back four, they don't seem to be handle that kind of football. And I feel as though that's where the Premier League's going more and more. Time, and then obviously squandering a 2-goal lead at Spurs. But I think there's an issue as well. Since the turn of the year, they've scored all their goals in the first half and conceded all their goals in the second half. So like I say, the ability to get in front is not an issue. It's keeping those leads.
Yeah. The reason you can't 100% write them off because they've been there and done it. Yeah. They've been course and distance. They've got a manager who's a prolific winner. He's rebuilt this side now. So you always would be looking over your shoulder for Arsenal and thinking, where are them, like shirt you've got on, that colour, light blue shirts? When are they going to come? They'll be coming in the wing mirrors. You'll be looking at them. You'll be panicking that they're going to come. But I think if the gap this weekend goes to 9 points, I think the anxiety will come out of Arsenal. They'll play with more freedom and they will blow teams away and they won't be able to make it up. I don't believe, like I keep saying, that they're capable of going now to the end of the season and winning every game. And I think with 14 games left, like they have, I think they're going to need to win probably 12 of them. I'm not sure they can do that.
You do seem to have belief in Liverpool, though. Was the Newcastle game a real turning point for them?
I think it's important for them to start winning. That was a big moment as well. Konate, you know, death of his father, coming back, scoring that goal at the Kop end. I mean, it's just all... I think it's all just working out for Liverpool at the moment. I just think they're a real threat from now to the end of the season because they have to. It'd be a disaster if they fell out of the Champions League. Yeah. They're capable of winning the Champions League, by the way. I believe that with their top players back to fitness.
By the way, we could have an unbelievable Premier League next year with Arsenal with the strength in depth, City, new look City, and Liverpool back on form and kind of obviously...
And Villa are a taste of it, and Tottenham.
Oh, dear.
Tim and Coventry.
Agree to disagree there, Tim. Gone one too far there, Tim. What of Liverpool at defensive problems of their own, though? We've seen that in the last little while.
Yeah, we have, and I think they probably do need addressed long term, but they seem to...
It's why they're top of the league.
Arne Slot made some very interesting comments this week talking about winning trophies, but the most important trophy for him was playing the nicest football.
Yeah, nonsense. I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, I don't know why he's saying that, trying to deflect away from it. I think he corrected that. I saw another quote from him saying it's very, very important for them. Not only for that, it gives them a boost and let their fans know that they're still in the chase. You know, to beat the top teams. Man City is still a top side, you know, with Guardiola. If they was to get a victory at Anfield, their fans would say, you know, well, we can bowl down the street now, we can stick our chests out and say, yeah, we do belong. You know, it wasn't a one-off last season. You know, we do belong in the higher echelons of this league.
Yeah, Arne Slot's win percentage just up on the screen briefly there. People are kind of making noise, wondering what happens to him, his future.
Listen, I think with the signings they brought in, you need to be given time for them to settle in. Like I say, Virtu's taken 6 months to settle in. Isak's got a broken leg. Like it just hasn't quite fitted. I think they'll go in the transfer market again, get maybe another centre-half. I know they brought one in January. Just get that right balance. And then I think, like I said, Frimpong down that right-hand side. Then, obviously, you've got a big decision on Mo Salah in the summer, what you do with him. But for me, I let Slot keep the job and give him an opportunity to coach this new-look Liverpool side. Because even though they did win a Premier League, they also transitioned at the same time as well.